So for the past two play sessions, I have been using ophidia spathe just to change things up. When it reads, you gain a second knife per charge, and this works with any of the knives. Getting a final blow grants consecutive knives a temporary stacking damage bonus. Stacks 3 times, 30%, 60%, 100%. And each of the knives depend on whether or not you might need 2 stacks for a headshot to kill, 2 stacks for a body shot to kill. You might need all 3 stacks. And then the most important line here is Gambler's Dodge refreshes the bonus timer. So now I tried all the knives. If I had to summarize, if you're playing in a team setting with multiple people on this, go Explosive Knife. And if you go Explosive Knife, I strongly recommend the BXR Battler, and you fish for somebody to detonate the proximity knife, BXR procs, and then you get a high damage bullet burst that allows you to clean up with the second explosive knife, which then can refresh them both. You can use your dodge to extend the timer and keep a one-hit knife rolling. Be sure to let your teammates know that you have the bonus so that they can not take your kills so that you can keep the bonus stacked up. So that's method number 1. Method number 2 is more of a controller thing. If you're on M&K, you can actually sweep your mouse to put all the knives in the same location. I tried it for a little bit. It is very, very skill intensive. I do not recommend for anything but fun. That's kind of what this exotic is good for, though, is it gives you 2 knives so you can practice something really difficult and get more repetitions in with it per match. So that's why it's important. For console, though, this knife is amazing. Use it with a shotgun, doesn't matter what shotgun. Shotgun, then you throw the salvo of knives, and it just picks up the kill because it's magnets. Ophidia Spathe is not the best exotic for this. I think you'd be much better off running something like Gemini Jester, Stompies, etc., because you're always going to be dodging anyway with Gambler's Dodge to activate the effect or to dodge another shotgunner. So you're pretty much always going to have at least one of these, and as long as you have Ember of Torches and knock them down, it will always refund the knife anyway. So in other words, use this as a practice exotic to get good with the knives, and then switch to something more practical later. The weighted throwing knife, this one seems obvious. You can stack up, get some body shots, I think on 2 stacks, which sounds great, until you remember that, I just recently did a video on this by the way, that Athras's Embrace is just nuts. This is so much better than having 2 knives that are slightly aimbot when you can have 1 knife that is really aimbot. So for that reason, again, I also say don't go this knife. I also think this knife isn't as friendly for shotgunning. You're kind of using it to fish for a random long-range kill. So I would recommend Abyss Defiant or Monte Carlo with it and a sniper rifle if you were to go that route. The final knife that surprised me, and this is the one I think the exotic is made for, is the lightweight knife. And don't get baited into precision hits with this knife make you radiant for a short duration. It's not worth foregoing torches. Just run torches. In fact, you can run a gunpowder gamble setup, like I did, run conditional finality and the BXR Battler with BXR perk, just go for a long-range shotgun and chunk the knife. This surprised the hell out of me. This was the best option for Ophidia Spathe. However, why not just use Athras? Why not just use Athras? So that's why this exotic kind of falls short. It's not a useless exotic by any means. It's one of the first exotics that I'm going to call a practice exotic. Use this to get good with the knives so that you don't need Ophidia Spathe anymore, and you can run something else. Hope that makes sense. Hope you enjoy the clips. I didn't get gameplay for this because this was a struggle. When everybody... Oh, that's another thing. When everybody's playing Strand clones. If you want a melee setup, why not just run Threaded Spike? Especially in the future for Checkmate and whatnot. This is such a better melee than any of the Solar kit. It's practically the best melee in the entire game. So, what I think Ophidia Spathe's competitive use might be in the future is when bows get nerfed, this turns into a bow helper exotic, where you can run a bow and conditional finality, maybe a swashbuckler bow, and even if you run out of conditional ammo, grenade launcher ammo, whatever, you always have a way to clean up your bow, whether that's with the fan knives, or my new favorite, the lightweight knife. This thing's amazing. That being said, when I play competitively on mouse and keyboard, it's always going to be Gemini weighted throwing knife, or if I'm just messing around, it's going to be Atheros weighted throwing knife. It's going to be a rare time that I pull out the lightweight knife, but it is good. I learned how to use it in these play sessions. Now the video's ending. Thanks for watching. BXR perk. I can extend it. Fine. I'll do it myself. Oh! But because I'm going for deep headshots. 25 meters out. No fear. I do want to try the Tex Mechanica launcher in a little bit. Surely they're gonna swing this in a second. I get the danger zone.